What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video and another presentation, but this time on the channel, for the first time in about 4 years, I'm gonna do a second presentation of Donnie, my 2021 Symphony ST 200. This is being filmed 2 weeks before I leave for London, where he's gonna get shipped to America and where I'm gonna ride him all across America from coast to coast, from the Atlantic to the Pacific and then back to the Atlantic in the Scooter Cannonball, the 2025 Scooter Cannonball. The reason I'm doing a second presentation, I did my first presentation when I bought him in July of 2021. Now it's been over 50,000 kilometers, over 30,000 miles with him. We've been through a lot. We've been together through 14 countries, 13 or 14, depending if you count Transnistria as a country. I'll have them all listed here. And he's gone through a lot of transformation, and the project has evolved over the years, as have I, so has the scooter, and as have my needs for filming and traveling have evolved, so has Donnie. We've evolved together, and this is currently his latest form, where I have honestly no idea what else to do to him. He is perfect the way he is, and he is an awesome touring machine. I've only done just one single proper practice run, test run with him in this setup, and he was just tremendously good. Much better than the stock scooter ever was. So without further ado, let's have a close look at Donnie and see exactly everything I did to him to turn him from a regular city scooter into a continent-crushing touring machine. Starting off at the front, as you can see, most of it's stock. The lighting is stock. I have added no extra lights because the factory LED headlight is tremendously good, and I haven't had any issue with it ever since I got it. I never had the need for better lights. I just adjusted it properly, and now I've never had an issue with it. Windscreen. I have gone with the GV windscreen, and you might look at GV's catalog and say, Alex, GV doesn't have a medium-sized windshield for the Symphony. I know. This has been cut by me to this specific size that is perfect for my height exactly. I want air to go on my helmet so I can cool down, but from here on down, I don't want any kind of air, because I don't want wind on my chest fatiguing me on a long ride. Moving on further down, we see the dash cam from the ENOF R6 system. This system also includes a rear dash cam and blind spot monitoring system, but we'll see that when you get to the back. Mounted to the mounting frame of the windshield. I found a perfect spot right here. It doesn't hit any fairing, plus it has a clear view up front to film everything. In terms of tires, I have gone from the beginning with the Michelin City Grip 2s, and honestly they have been tremendously good on all kinds of surfaces. Wet tarmac, dry tarmac, mud, gravel, snow, anything I throw at them, they're wonderful. I just put on a brand new set. The previous set lasted the rear tire 30,000 kilometers and the front tire 44,000 kilometers. Although the front one wasn't round anymore and it was giving me a lot of head shake, but now it's all fixed with a brand new tire. Up on the dashboard, we have the business side of things. This is what I see and this is what I ride with. Starting off from the right, the accelerator has an AliExpress throttle lock on it. This is like 2-3 euros on AliExpress. I have an outside temperature sensor. This is basically just a thermometer, currently showing it's 32 degrees outside, but it's not because it's been sitting in direct sunlight and it's heating up. Right here we have the Oxford heated grips. Over here we can see the blind spot monitoring system for the ENOF R6 system. Here we have a Kaiji AIO5 Play, which mirrors my phone with Android Auto. It also has Apple CarPlay capabilities and also has tire pressure monitoring system. Right here we have a GoPro Hero 7 on a quad lock mount with a quad lock USB charger plugged in permanently to the scooter, so I can record myself as I ride and not have to worry about battery life. To the left of it is another quad lock mount. This is for my main phone with a wireless charger, because my phone is capable of wireless charging, plugged into the scooter directly. This helps keeps my phone completely charged on a long distance road trip, as it's connected to the Kaiji and I use it for navigation. Below it is my trusty cup holder. I always have on long distance touring machine. I like to have a water bottle here so I can drink as I ride. Now, the way this thing is all mounted, it's all mounted on either on the mirrors or on the frame of the windshield, which is full metal mount. This bar mount that I have made myself here is actually a bar mount for a cruise sim that I modified and bent to fit the ST with a couple of clamps from AliExpress. It's a bit of a MacGyver kind of solution, but it works well. It works well. I've never had any issue with it in, I don't know, 5,000, 6,000 kilometers. And yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I did put a little bit of rubber here underneath so it doesn't vibrate because it is touching the top uh, of the fairing here above the dashboard. But it's been wonderfully reliable ever since I mounted. And also on the dash I do have a screen protector on the actual display because it scratches very easily. It's not specific for the Symphony ST. This is a screen protector for a Zontes 350E that I basically cut down to size and put it on. In terms of underseat storage, as we know, the Symphony ST has basically room for 2 helmets under the seat. I never put a helmet under the seat, but what I do is keep all of my tools, my puncture repair kit, spare oil, battery jump boxes down here, tools. This is for cleaning my helmet visor. This usually stays empty, and I have my man purse, as you would call it here. Also my rain shell, a spare variator and a belt. We'll get to that in a little bit. But on the Cannonball, this underseat storage is gonna be full of tools and spare parts. This is kind of like the garage section of the scooter, and this is where I keep everything that I access actually quite rarely, because on top of the seat on the passenger side right here, I'm gonna have a waterproof bag that's gonna hold most of my luggage. But before we close the underseat storage completely, I want to talk about some of the electrical work I've done to him. And I'm gonna get you in close for this one. There we go, right here. Right here, as you can see, is not stock as a Symphony ST normally is. Here I've mounted a USB plug with USB-C and USB-A fast charging. Over here is a regular 12-volt plug with a cigarette lighter. This is all controlled by this button. I can turn them on or turn them off. Next to it is a button that turns on the lights that I have under the seat and also that sit on the side of the scooter, so I can have work lights if I have to do either maintenance on the oil side or on the transmission and air filter side. So I have light if I have to do them in the dark, then I have light on the scooter from the battery lighting up my entire workspace and my underseat storage so I can find my tools. And this third switch turns off the entire electrical system for all the electronics on the front of the scooter. For my Kaiji AIO5 Play, for the GoPro, for the third eye system, heated grips, wireless charger for the phone. It turns all of that off. Just in case I have trouble with my charging system, I have one button, I can switch them all off, and then the scooter would just run stock on its stock electrical system. So all of the electronics I have added to this scooter are on a secondary wiring loom that can be completely switched off from here. And last but not least, an SAE connector. This is so if I want to charge the battery of the scooter, or if I have either heated gear that I want to plug into the scooter if I'm riding in the winter, stuff like that. But it's always good to have one of these connectors plugged into the battery just in case you need it. Over here is the OBD port where is it? Where I plug in my ELM327 OBD adapter that I can get telemetry straight from the scooter's engine, from the scooter's ECU. This is the telemetry that you see on the screen. This is what I use. This is $3 on AliExpress, and I use the Torque Pro app on Android. Another thing that you can see right next to it, and I'm gonna get you close, is my jerry cans. I have two of them, one on each side. They are 5 liters each, and they give me a fuel range of about 160 kilometers per can. Lately, I've been testing them out and I've been able to put 5.5 liters in. They say they're 5 liters, but I've been able to put 5.5 liters in. And here you can see the custom mounts that I have made for the system to mount them on these grab handles for the passenger. Now, I know the passenger doesn't have anything to grab onto now, but I don't intend on the Cannonball to run with the passenger. So these are now my auxiliary fuel cans. With them and with the scooter's regular fuel tank that is 7 liters, that gives me, I can put 5.5 liters in each, so that's 11 liters plus 7 liters in the fuel tank. That's 18 liters of fuel I can carry with me, and that is good for about 500 to 550 kilometers fuel range on the open road. On the back, as you can see, I have gone for a top case, the Shod SH40. What I like about this top case is that it's square, and on the open road I've realized along the years that a square top case is better than one of those rounded ones. It has a rack on top so you can mount stuff to the top of it, like a tent or something like that. Plus you can access it without locking. So I don't always have to pull out the key from the ignition to open the top case. You can either set it in its locked position or its unlocked position. And when I'm on the open road, I keep it in the unlocked position. And when I have to grab something from the top case, I just open it, get what I need, and close it. That's it. I don't have to pull the keys from the ignition. Usually sometimes I start the scooter, I forget something to get from the top case, like a drink of water or something like that, and I have to turn off the scooter, grab the key, open the top case. Not with this thing. Just as it sits, get off the scooter, open it, get what I need, close it back up, and get back on it and hit the road. And if we move further down, we can see the sensor of the ENOF system, which comes with a radar sensor for the blind spot monitoring system and also a rear camera for filming what's behind me. I really like this system. The cameras are really good. I'm going to put some footage up, previously recorded footage. I haven't had any trouble with it, apart from sometimes once or twice it happened, water got into the sensor and it was detecting like a vehicle was in my blind spot, but when it dried out, it came back to working normally. So ENOF can look into that, into better weatherproofing around here. But otherwise, I've never had to use the footage from the cameras. Thank God, I didn't have any kind of issues like that. But it's nice to have the peace of mind that two cameras, front and rear, are constantly running and recording everything that's happening around you. And also, because this is not just a tarmac scooter, this scooter goes off-road, I did mount one of those extender feet for the side stand. In case I'm on soft terrain, I can put it on its side stand and it won't sink. And the last modification that I can only show you a bit of B-roll, because out here in the forest I'm not gonna take the transmission cover off, is the Dr. Pulley Variator. I have an overrange variator kit for Dr. Pulley with the special 15-gram sliders for this thing, and I have to say it has transformed the way this thing rides. The engine is an air-cooled 169cc, 12.5 horsepower. At high speed, it was a little bit gutless because over 80-85 kilometers per hour, it was getting close to 9,000 RPM, and that's way above its maximum power RPM at 7,500. With the Dr. Pulley Variator, it brought down the RPM by just about 1,000 RPM when you're going over 90 kilometers an hour. So now sitting at between 90 and 100 kilometers an hour, that's real world GPS speed, this thing is very close to its maximum power band, and it feels just so much better on the open road. You're going on regular roads, like on back roads and stuff like that, when you're fluctuating between 70 kilometers an hour and 100 kilometers an hour, you're constantly in either peak torque or peak horsepower range of the rev range. And it just feels better. It doesn't feel gutless anymore. It feels like it can cross continents. It doesn't use up any oil anymore because you're riding at lower RPM. Fuel consumption has gone down by about 20%, something like that, so you get better fuel range. Hopefully this variator is as reliable as the factory one, which lasted me 43,000 kilometers. I only have 2,000 kilometers on this variator, but hopefully it's as reliable or close to as reliable as the factory one, because this is an awesome upgrade for something like this. If you want to do long distance for the 169cc air-cooled engine from Sym, this is an awesome and must-have upgrade. But enough blabbering. Let's get this thing on the open road. and see how it rides. And I can tell you a couple of things why I'm taking this thing to the Cannonball as opposed to David, my ADX 125, and why I did everything that I did to get him ready, and what's the purpose of all of this. So come on, let's get on the road. All right, let's get out of this forest. We're actually quite close to the road, but this is the forest where I filmed Donnie's first presentation on the channel about 4 years ago, and yeah, sentimental value. Now, before we get on the open road, the reason why I have worked so hard in the past 4 years to modify Donnie and bring him up to spec and make him capable of comfortably covering very long distances is this was my first vehicle that took me out of Romania on a big cross-country road trip. The trip to Turkey, where I went through Bulgaria, Turkey, and Georgia and Armenia, that was the first time I was exiting Romania with my own vehicle. I had gone on trips before, but it was always like one of those organized trips, either on buses or by plane, by a tourist agency. It was never on my terms with my own vehicle, and I don't know, it was always something so far away, like take my own vehicle to another country. This was the first thing that enabled that, and it fulfilled a dream I had to ride, to do a road trip through many different countries and do it with my own vehicle that I have an emotional attachment to. And honestly, it's always delivered. It's never left me stranded, always got me to my destination. And it's been extremely reliable. It's been extremely fuel efficient and making travel very, very cheap. And I love it for that. And since it has enabled so much for me, I have decided to work on him and make him as good as he can be for the wide open road. As we're entering now the wide open road, actually we're gonna cross through a village, but you know, it's that emotional attachment. Are there better scooters for long distance road trips? Of course there are. A lot of them are better. My Zontas 350 is the ADX 125 from Sym is a better long-distance touring little 125cc scooter because it comes from the factory with most of the modifications that I have done to this thing, with extra fuel, with a bigger variator. But this is Donnie. This is my scoot. This is the one that has taken me through 14 countries up to this point, and we're gonna go through a lot more in the next 2 months. And with a little bit of work and determination, he can turn from a regular little city scooter into something that is supremely comfortable and enjoyable to ride very, very long distance. As you can see, now it's more than comfortable at sustaining speed 60 or 70 kilometers an hour. I'm not giving him 100% throttle. This new variator really does change how the scooter rides. It's impeccably. Like I've said, I really hope it has the reliability of the stock variator, because this thing just runs so much better with this Dr. Pulley Variator. So much so that even if it fails, I have a second variator from Dr. Pulley as a spare. So even if it fails at, I don't know, 15, 20,000 kilometers or 10,000 kilometers, I'll just put the second one in and ride the remaining portion of the trip with the Dr. Pulley Variator, because it rides so much better long distance with it. Now we're gonna get on the highway and head home, and you're gonna see where all the modifications shine. On the open road, getting up to speed. I mean, I have the windshield that gives ventilation to my helmet, but takes away all of the wind from my chest, the wind buffeting off my chest, so I can stay cool and yet not fatigue. Oh, slippery a little bit. This is very smooth tarmac. Let's get here. I also have to be mindful of the brand new tires. They take a bit of time to get broken in, but I have 2,500 kilometers to ride to London, so they're gonna get broken in when they'll be fully broken in when I get to the US. But it's so nice to be on brand new tires. They're just round and they go around corners well and they feel good. All right. Highway sign. Let's open up the taps and get up to speed. Sym never envisioned this little scooter with this little drivetrain being used for cross-country long-distance road trips. But here I am doing it, and I've been doing it for the past 4 years. And it's wonderful. The fact that such a small, light, little machine with such a little engine can keep up with modern-day traffic on the highway, it's surprising to say the least. Speed limit is 100. We're doing 100 indicated, probably about 90, 91 real-world speed. I can use the Kaiji to see my GPS speed, 86 at the moment, and I also see my tire pressures and my charging system. I do have all the specs of the engine through the OBD adapter right here on my Hope phone. I have my blind spot monitoring system taking care of my 6 and warning me of upcoming cars to either on my left hand side or on my right hand side. I've done everything to make it as easy to ride long distance and as comfortable to ride, because I will be doing proper long distance with him. Like, I will be going thousands and thousands of kilometers in just a couple of days. This trip to the US with the trip to England and back is gonna consume about 17 or 18,000 kilometers. That's over 10,000 miles. Granted, it's gonna be split up into sections, but from Quasi's home in Houston, Texas to Seaside, and then back from Seaside to South Padre Island, Texas, we are gonna be covering 8 days on the trip to Seaside. We're gonna be covering about 5,000 kilometers. And then we're gonna have another 8 days for 6,000 kilometers on the actual Cannonball. So we are gonna be covering a lot of ground very, very quickly. Now the message is accelerating as I'm trying to pass her, and it's currently uphill, so I can't speed up anymore. But we're gonna go downhill now, and I should be able to overtake. It's not necessarily her fault that I am horsepower limited, but here we are, a bit of downhill, and Donnie's getting up. Let's wide open throttle as we enter Bucharest. There we go, 91, 92 kilometers an hour. It's a bit windy today, so yeah. It's not optimal, but this is a comfortable cruising speed. We're turning 8,000 RPM. The engine is more than happy at 8,000 RPM. And I couldn't be happier that he's 100% ready. The only thing I'm still thinking about is this GoPro here. I tried to put it on now, it just won't start. And this quad lock, although it's a good USB charger, very fast charging, I'm not happy with the way it's exposed. And you know, you might get caught out in the rain being on a scooter and everything. So yeah, I'm not too happy about this. I still have 2 weeks to think about it. This might come off, or it might stay on, or it might be changed a little bit. We'll see. I haven't made up my mind completely now. But as we enter Bucharest, this little presentation comes to an end. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked my little build, what I've managed to do out of just a little city scooter. And I hope, like me, you think this is Cannonball ready. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported this project. It's been a year in the making. I've been working hard at it to get it done, to turn it into a reality. The goal I set for myself a year ago to ship the scooter to the US and do the Scooter Cannonball is 2 weeks away from becoming a reality. but it couldn't have been done without you guys, without the people supporting, the people watching, and the people donating to the project. About almost $3,000 have been raised from you guys watching the videos, and that has allowed me the freedom to not worry about sponsors all that much, and not go to the US with an agenda about telling you guys what to buy and buy this, buy that. I can go just relaxed, and I can bring you along for the trip without having an agenda of trying to sell you something because somebody gave me money to go to the Cannonball. It's a wonderful feeling, and it just goes to show what can happen when the community comes together. When you believe in somebody and when you help them out, or when somebody believes in you and gives you the power to conquer any obstacle that you face. So thank you all who have donated, and if you wish to donate to the project, then check the description of the video below. I do have a PayPal account, a Revolut account, and now a Buy Me a Coffee account that you can use for donations. All proceeds will be going to the Cannonball efforts, and all expenses that I have to cover with this trip. So thank you all so much for watching. Take care out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until next time, take care out there, everyone, and ride safe. Bye!